Alright, this video is about being debt free in your lawn care business. And just a few quick tips and a little advice on debt, because I've experienced both in my lawn care business. I'm debt free now, and I've been in debt in inside of my lawn care business. So my advice on it is this: avoid it at all costs in your lawn care business. All right, and I'm gonna explain why. The reason why is because when you first go, in it's lawn care businesses that can take on debt and be able to make that money back quick enough to justify going into debt, and they have different maybe business accounts that they're growing. And I'm not trying to take away from that strategy, but for the beginners and probably 9 out of 10 lawn care companies who are watching videos like this, you're most likely way better off not being in debt, and I'm going to explain why. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna just gonna give you a little backstory on my story when I was in debt. So basically, what happens is when you first start out, you're a beginner. You have this romanticized, glorified sandcastle, smoke dream in your head that when your lawn care business is successful, when it has finally made it, you'll be in a brand new truck, brand new trailer, everything brand new, sparkling new. That's when you've made it. All right. So that's what everybody has this envision of in their head, that a lot of lawn care companies don't even get started just because of that vision. They don't think that they could get that vision fast enough. And a lot of lawn care business probably don't even, a lot of people don't even turn that vision into reality just because of that fear alone, that their business won't be looked at as this established, very well doing company. And I'm here to debunk that theory. It's not true. The customers could care less what you pull up to their yard in. They really don't. All they worried about is, you have your customers that's worried about the quality and how it looks. So if you can turn their vision into reality, that's all that really matters. They don't care. They don't care about how it looks. You want to be presentable. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to look too bad to where it's causing it's unsightly. You don't want your truck to be unsightly and too bad, but at the end of the day, they just don't care about the presentation of your company. They care about are you able to turn their vision into reality, and how much is it going to cost them to do it, to be able to afford you to do it. That's all they care about. You could pull up, I'll be honest with you, I think my core customers, if I pulled up in a Honda Accord with a lawnmower stuffed in the back seat and a trimmer on top of the hood, I don't think that they would call me and wouldn't and cancel their line service because of that. I I have yet to see somebody turn down getting their grass cut because of what kind of car or truck my equipment was in. Never seen it. So with that being said, it's almost better that you start your business without a lot of money. If you don't have a lot of money, embrace it. Use that as your power. Embrace that. If you have $800 and you need to go buy a pickup, a 1993 pickup truck to get started, and you got to put the brakes on yourself just to get started. If you have to humble yourself to do it, it's nothing like humbling yourself in your business. You know why? Because when you humble yourself in your business, you are an asset to your company now. You was willing to take one for the team. You was willing to humble yourself and have a little humility about yourself. Like, yeah, maybe you only able to afford that 2001 F-150 right now. But you know that you're gonna make $10,000 in it. So when you're able to humble yourself in your business, then you are an asset. When you go into debt and when you go and buy things that your company can't afford yet, and you put that debt and that burden on your company, you're not an asset to your company anymore. You're a liability to the company now, because you're actually a CEO at the same time that you're a lawn care service. Meaning that when you're a CEO, your job is to decide which direction the company goes. So if you decide for your company to go down the road of debt just to appear and look as if the company is doing better, that's actually a bad decision. In the lawn care business, it's actually a bad decision, because if you would have been able to take that same down payment and buy one and be debt free and humble yourself and don't really mind how your business looks, the superficial materialistic view of your company, and you really focused on the actual real profits and what do you actually need, then you'll be doing a lot better than those companies that appear to be doing okay, because your business will be profitable, and you'll be able to take that money from your business and reinvest it back into the business. So yeah, like I said, I went into debt. I went and got a F-250. I'm not in debt no more. I paid them off, but it was one of the worst decisions, because as soon as the truck broke down, I was spending so much money trying to keep up with the truck payments and the full coverage that people don't mention. You need full coverage when you paying these trucks off. It's a huge expense. It's a huge liability on your company. So just start off with what you can actually afford and just keep flipping it. There's no need to go into debt. There's no need to have debt on your company. 9 times out of 10, when you go into debt in the lawn care business, 9 times out of 10, if you're in debt in your lawn care business, it's because of ego. You could have probably afforded something else. You just wanted to impress the. You was going for the more superficial aspect of the company, instead of actually, are you turning their vision into reality, instead of your vision into instead of incorporating your vision into it, and you turned your back on the actual profits in the business just to appear to look, instead of having a cash cow, instead of actually having a cash cow that you could just take the income, the cash flow from that business, you turned it into a company that looks like they're doing okay, better than the average, but the cash flow of that business is all sucked out of there. What will be the point of owning a company that's not a cash cow for you? It's really no point in doing that. That's why I say the worst thing you could do is go in debt. If you're already in debt, you should try to hurry up and get out of debt as fast as possible. And don't do that. Don't go that route again, because once you go in debt, now you behind the zero. At least if you was broke, at least if you're broke, you're kind of neutral. But once you go into debt, now you behind the zero. You worse than broke. You worse than broke when you behind the zero. Especially if you don't know how to leverage your debt like that. If you know how to leverage it and you know what you're doing, okay, those are different people. But to put that kind of strain on your business early on purpose when you didn't have to. Okay, I'm just gonna give you an example. If you went and financed a $40,000 truck, but you literally could have went on Craigslist and bought a $1,500 truck and did the same exact thing, and you cutting the same amount of yards as the same person down the street who just bought a $2,000 truck cash, and he has no debt in his business. It's a bad mistake. It's a bad mistake because you just put yourself so far behind the zero. So I just feel like I had to make this video just to not to put down the people who are in debt, because I was in debt. I was in debt for a while. I even had to go to court. I was getting threatened with, they wanted to, I was getting threats of garnishments and liens and all this stuff. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. Embrace not having a lot of money to invest in your business. You know why you should invest? You know why you shouldn't do that? It's because when you don't have a lot of money, that's when you're the most innovative. That's when you're the most innovative. You could come up with all kind of ideas and ways to get that job done. To get that job done without putting that type of burden on your company. Even lawnmowers. If you can't afford the biggest, baddest lawnmower, just roll with the one that you can afford. Just roll with the one that you can afford. There's nothing wrong with that. Humble yourself. Humble yourself, and don't be so superficial in the world where everything is just glamorized by how it looks. You should never judge a book by its cover. You'll be surprised to know that some of the best lawn care businesses out here is not necessarily driving a brand new truck. The most profitable ones, the ones that you're wealthy, and you can quit your job, your day job, and do it full time, and your business pays its own bills and your personal bills, and it's made you financially independent or even financially free. Why sabotage a company that can do that for you? A company that could make you financially free, potentially. There's no need to hang hang an obligation like that on such a good entity that it's not you. You got to remember, when you start a company, you just created another entity. That entity can have things in his name, all kind of stuff. Think about if that entity was a child. If your business was your child, you just created and birthed the entity in this world. That you could put a car in your business's name. That's technically an entity. Would you put $30,000 debt on your child, a $40,000 truck debt on your child? You would think twice about that. You would think really hard about that before you would do that. You would think really hard. You probably wouldn't do it just in case you end up sabotaging this child later on down the line. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. You would think, and if you did, you would think really hard about it. Because you wouldn't want to accidentally mess this child up before it even had a chance to go into the world and mess up his own credit. And that's the way I look at business. It's like, don't put it in danger. Don't put it in that much danger when you didn't really have to. Get innovative. Go find you a truck that's in really good shape, but maybe just older, that you could get a few years out of it, save up enough money, and then elevate to the point where you could go buy a truck that you want without being in debt. You could generate that type of money in the lawn care business if you don't sabotage yourself too early. You could grow your business to the point where you can make enough money, save enough money to go buy a brand new truck, brand new, if that's what you wanted to do. There's nothing wrong with having a brand new truck. There's nothing wrong with having brand new equipment. But why bite off more than you can chew when you just don't have to? You could buy your stuff used. Literally, once you buy new stuff right off the lot, half it decreases in value 50%. For a company in a business that you want to take care of you for a lifetime potentially, or that you can even pass down to somebody, why would you put that kind of strain on an entity that you created, which is your baby, and treat it as if it was just something to just kick around and just make reckless decisions in behalf of? Well, all right. Well, I definitely would love to hear the pros, and some of you beginners, I would love to hear y'all opinion on this subject. Go ahead, leave a comment, because this channel is made for learning from each other in the green industry. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and hit the bell, because I'm gonna be making a lot of videos just on different topics in the lawn care business. And I'm Kevin with Quality Lawn Care. Peace.